On to our next speaker here. We have Rajeev Wadhwa, who's going to be presenting to us tonight, and I'll have him do his introduction. So with that, please help me welcome Rajeev to the virtual lectern.
Thank you, everyone. My daughter got married in the beginning of January. So on the 6th of January, we had a reception. And I decided to give a father of the bride speech. It's generally not customary in the Indian tradition, but over here, seeing other people do it, I decided that maybe I should do that. And I created this speech, but then I stopped in the middle halfway. I didn't give the whole speech because in the second half, particularly, I had some funny bits and I wasn't sure whether this untested humor might offend somebody, and the last thing you want in a marriage is to offend people. So I didn't do that. So I thought, why don't I take this opportunity and present my father of the bride's speech completely to this group and take your feedback as to what I should or should not have said, or should not include this, because I'm still on a very long learning curve about these specialty speeches. It doesn't come naturally to me. It's not in our culture. So it's still quite foreign to me. So here it goes. By the way, this is from the manual, Engaging Humor. This is a second speech, which is Speaking with a Purpose. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming here tonight and celebrating this momentum occasion with us. We are migrants. We migrated to Australia in 1992, leaving behind all our friends and immediate families, extended families. We didn't know a soul here. We had nobody, and now we have you. You are our family now. We are so blessed to have amazing people like yourselves in our life, and I thank you for that. I can't believe this is Neha's wedding day. My eyes are turning moist. Feels like just yesterday she was 5 years old and she was very naughty. I distinctly remember this incident. Can't exactly remember what it was and how I got annoyed at her. And I decided I must do that every parent in my position should do. Punish her and thereby perform my parental duty. I thought as a parent, I should never miss an opportunity to punish my child. I called her. I said, Neha, come here. She realized the seriousness of the situation. She asked me, are you going to punish me? I admired her perceptiveness. Yeah, again, I think I remember that time my eyes got moist that time too. And I said, yes, you will receive your punishment. She asked me, so what are you going to do? Are you going to beat me? I was taken aback with this candid question. I said, no. Are you going to take away my food? No. Will you take away my cold drink? Will you stop playing with me? Will you make me run too much? Will you stop my swimming lessons? I faced a barrage of questions that I needed to answer before I could seriously think about anything. It made me smile and laugh, spoiled the whole mood of punishment. And then she took a sigh and she said, I don't like punishment. And she walked away. I noticed that right from very young age, she negotiates well. And even today, she stays calm in difficult situation and is able to negotiate her way out of it. Now let's move forward and focus on the groom, Ahmad. Now, would you like to see a live training session? I'm a really great trainer. So I have a philosophical advice on happy married life, a tip on how to stay happy, and a technique to assert your position as the king of the house. Firstly, you need to build a clear understanding. I must tell you, marriage is a relationship in which one of the partners is always right. And the other one is a husband. From time to time, you will be faced with this scenario where you can be right or you can be happy. I suggest you select to be happy. I wish I was given such a caring intelligence and advice at the right time. Secondly, I'll give you 2 magic words that will make your life so much better. So please take a note of this. The first word is yes. And the second one is dear. When you combine them together, it works like magic. Yes, dear. So when the question is asked, can you make me hot breakfast? The correct answer is yes, dear. She'll be so happy. And you must have heard, happy wife, happy life. And now let's look at how to position yourself as the king of the house. You have an absolute privilege to know about this tried and tested technique, which has its origin in the Bollywood movies. The man of the house gives a command and shuts up his objecting wife by saying, that's it, I have spoken. For example, the man says, we will make many properties and live off the rents that we will receive. Wife objects and says, but where will we get the money to buy all these properties? The man of the house commands, that's it, I have spoken. I was so impressed that I decided to try it. So one day I mentally prepared myself and I looked in my wife's eyes and I thought, this isn't going to go down well. She's an amazing cook, and there is no point in losing that privilege. But I should have thought about that before trying it out. I never had any guidance. And whilst I was facing the consequences, this new technique dawned on me. With this technique, you will have a smooth flow. And this is how it goes. That's it. I've spoken. I'll do all the dishes, clean the house, mow the lawn, do the laundry, iron all the clothes, yours and mine, and I won't entertain any objections. That's it. I've spoken. With all those wise words, I welcome you, Ahmad, to our family. Ladies and gentlemen, could you all please raise your glasses to give a toast to a newly wedded couple for a happy married life. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Wow. Thank you so much, Rajeev, for that wonderful follow the bride speech. And that's it. I've spoken. But so I guess I'll have to try out your wisdom, your words of wisdom. Well, with that, moving back to our facilitator round, we get some feedback, and Eve McDonald will be leading that again. So back to you, Eve.
Thank you, Oscar. Rajeev, my eyes were moist initially for the sentimentality of a parent on his daughter's wedding day, and then killing myself laughing at your daughter's ability to evade punishment and discipline. We have another 6 amazing evaluators to provide feedback to Rajeev on the humor of his speech. So the top 6 then will be Peter, Koki, I invite Camille, Terry, May, and Kennedy. Over to you, Peter, to kick things off.
First off, Rajeev, I too had a virtual tear in my virtual eyes. I virtually enjoyed that. I thought it was a heartwarming and expressive speech. Some points for development. I would watch your usage. You had a few ahs and quite a number of filler words in there. I think that might have been more in your introduction than in your speech, but I'm sure as you internalize that speech, they will go away. There I go. I'm eating my own words. Otherwise, I thought it was a lovely speech, and I'm sure everyone will be as teary and heartwarmed as we are.
Thank you, Peter, and over to you, Koki.
Yes, Rajeev, congratulations for your daughter's marriage. And yeah, you mentioned that in the second half of the speech would be any offense in it, but I didn't see any offensiveness in your speech. It was all good. Like you said, when wife is happy, the family is happy. That's so true. And I like that you said that the 2 words that you have to remember is yes, dear. That was really wonderful, you know. And you gave that speech to your son to be. So I hope he will say yes, dear, to your daughter as well. And your screen was clean. Your the voice, everything was super clear, and I did enjoy your speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Koki, and over to you, Camille.
Thank you. I did enjoy your speech. I thought it was very touching. The only part that I could offer is to maybe when you're talking about your daughter to actually change it to a little girl voice. Will I be, as opposed to just your own voice. And you don't actually even have to say she said, just go ahead and do it, so that the dialogue's there, which of course engages the people. But I think it was a stellar job. Well done.
Thank you, Camille, and over to Terry for a great evaluation.
Rajeev, great speech again. Congratulations on the marriage of your daughter. I have listened to a number of these kinds of speeches. You hit all of the traditional points, which is great. I love the way you provide a story from her childhood, and then you provide the advice. Like I said, that's very traditional for this kind of thing. And the feeling was there. It was so perfect. The only suggestion that I have, and this is only if it's appropriate, if you were to feel comfortable like expressing that kind of relationship with your new son-in-law, would be to say something like, I have given you much advice to help you in your married life. If you want more advice, please know that I am always available. For something like that. Especially, it touched me too, the line about you saying you didn't have somebody to give this kind of advice. So to make that offer to the next generation would be very appropriate. Thank you again for sharing that touching speech with us.
And over to you, May.
Thank you, Rajeev. A beautiful speech. And January 6th was the wedding day, right? It's my son's birthday too. So that my eye was moist too. Anyway, I was touchy. Like around the world, I celebrate my son's birthday and you celebrate your daughter's wedding. Beautiful. And happy wife, happy life. That's rule in my house too. And my husband knows, yes, dear, very well. Do you have another daughter? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So your future son-in-law learn this for the next wedding. So great speech. Thank you.
And to wrap up our evaluation, last but not least, Kennedy.
Rajiv, I really like your emotional, moist rendering speech. Makes everybody think of everybody's sons and daughters, or their sons-in-laws and their daughters-in-laws. I did notice that there were a lot of stringing words, for example, and so when you begin your sentence, not necessarily that you needed them. There is a Princeton study in the languages department that said they studied that people who use a lot of language stringing words like and, so, buts, people tend to turn off when they use that because, oh, this is going to become a complicated thing. So even if you drop that, the whole meaning is still there. The second thing I would recommend is when you end, is to actually bring up your concern. You were very good when you presented avoiding punishment. Perhaps you could make that your focal point. Say, in the same way that my daughter is very good at avoiding punishment, I would like to bring everybody around to say, perhaps I would like to avoid there's any misunderstanding, but this is my best intention. If there's any misunderstanding, please bring it up to me, but I have said so. Back to you, Eve.
What a powerhouse of evaluators. Thank you to the dozen members and guests who participated in giving our wonderful speakers feedback. I'm going to pass the virtual microphone back to Oscar.